Good morning, everybody, and good morning. It is Monday again, and welcome back to my Facebook Live once again. Yes, I had a whole week off last week, so I'm feeling a little bit refreshed. Kind of, because I was working extremely hard last week, and in fact, I think Thursday and Friday, both days, I was working until how long was it? I was working until 3, 4, 5 a.m. I think I can remember now. I think Thursday night I was up until 3 a.m. and then Friday night I was up until 5:30 a.m. and I was working on a couple of videos and for Olympus, so I was very excited about it, but it's just a lot going on. That's why I had to take last week off, because I had to get this project finished. Although I filmed everything at home, so like I wasn't really going out to do something exciting. So well, it's still kind of cool, you know. And when you get something to do and to kind of take your mind off all these current situations, is always good. But anyway, so I'm back this week. So I'm going to do my normal daily stream and also my Wednesday YouTube live, photography 101 live. So yeah, I'm back. So hopefully you guys will see me more again. So yeah, I did mention kind of before last week, I did say that I may impose some changes to my live stream content, simply because I don't want it to be very random. So just trying to restrict myself once more, and also trying to get things a little bit more organized in terms of things that I want to talk about, for instance. So from this week onward, and well, not this week, maybe next week. This week, I'm still going to continue tweaking my things a little bit. For instance, I'm going to have a specific theme and topics for each of the weekdays. So, like, let's say Monday going to be generic Q&A, and then Tuesday maybe more specific about setting on the cameras. Third will be more about, you know, philosophies in photography, and then so forth. You know, you get an idea. So I'm trying to have maybe having a more specific topics to talk about in each of the days. So if you guys have any ideas, please leave me some comment and just let me know what you guys would like to hear, what you guys would like to talk about, and then I will adapt to it and formulate something that, you know, that will suit everybody. So that sounds good, right? Okay, and so I'm happy to be back there, just because I kind of miss these interactions, even though we don't see face to face. But you know, is probably my way to air it out a little bit, you know, and also to communicate to the outside world rather than just staying at home kind of thing. But it is good. But anyway, so I do have topics today, and so it's following the same thing as the previous week. It's just basically talking about stuff that I like to talk about. So we're going to have a format, simple thing again, and let me just get back to my topic. So let me hold it up to gate. So general update, and I'm going to have a topic of the day and a Q&A. But of course, you know, if you have anything to ask me, and you are very welcome to just drop down in the comment box, and then I will see it pop up and populate it in my software here. But there is a little bit of delay there. There's about 1 or 2 minutes delay, so I may not see your comment in time to you know, for me to respond quickly or more instantly. So bear with me, I will see your comment and I will answer it. Okay, so general update, and like I mentioned before, if you are new here and you haven't been here before, so this is my live stream. It's public, so that means everyone will see it. Now, the reason I want to do some updates is because my friends and families also can see this as well, and I just want to keep them informed that, you know, myself and my family are okay during this lockdown. So okay, so that's what I want to talk about. But then after that, I'm just go back to my photography and filmmaking stuff. So this is something that you guys may be more interested in. Okay, general update. You can see that I'm live and well, and like I mentioned earlier, my last week was very busy. I was working on a couple of projects, and Thursday, Friday, I had virtually no sleep, and but I was excited because I got something to do. Then the weekend, I actually took the weekend off. I didn't do anything at all. I didn't even do any social media. I didn't even do anything. I washed my car, and that was it. I washed my car, and my wife and kids did some baking. So like, you know, we had some family time, which is actually very, very cool. So this week I'm back to normal now. My wife is working upstairs, and then I'm doing this stuff at the moment, but I have to edit the the video project I was doing, I was working on last Thursday and Friday, so I'm gonna do that this week, trying to edit everything, so get that done. Okay, cool. So that's my general update, and in terms of channel-wise, not channel, but this live stream thing, and the next week I'm trying to get some kind of theme going on, and then get things more going. Like I mentioned, if you guys have any specific question you want to ask me, drop the comment down below. If you want to see anything that you want to learn about more specifically, let me know as well. So I'm trying to adapt to the whole kind of daily stream thing. Okay, so let's see what you should upgrade. Right, this is the topic of the day, yeah. Okay, right, because I'm an Olympus guy, so I'm going to use my Olympus cameras as an example, but of course this apply straight across the board about, you know, cameras and what sort of camera you're using, whether you should be upgrading or whatever. Right, okay. What do you guys think about upgrading? Just to start the conversation first, let me just switch off this topic thing, and then when I remember, let me tell you a little bit about my experience first, you know, because back in the old days, before I became a professional, you know, I was working just like most of you guys. Even I was studying. You know, it's quite normal to, you know, when you see an advertisement or you pick up the magazine, you're flipping through the pages. You know, a lot of us, you know, generally will be interested in the gears versus before the pictures. Well, I don't know about you, maybe it was just me, but I'm talking about my own experience, yeah. So like when I pick up a magazine, yeah, first thing I'm going to flip through is to check out the latest and the greatest cameras, yeah, you know. Whether I could afford it, that's another thing, but I was looking at the cameras, and it's always this driving force, you know, like every few months I pick out a new magazine again, I'll just flip through it to see what the latest is, and I'm just curious. I just, you know, you go to the camera store, you just want to pick up the coolest camera you can get, and but that is kind of the mentality I had, you know, and so I always wanted. I mean, I always wanted to get the latest cameras. So it's just, I think it's a men thing, you know. I don't know about you guys, you know. I don't know sure about women, but for me, I really enjoy just looking at newest cameras. Just a cool thing, right? And but as I became more mature, of course, you know, priority changes. You know, money, you know, where you want to spend your money and things like that, and then that's changed slightly. But still, I was still looking at cameras, you know, and it just, good morning, Ravinda. Good morning. That's very good to see you joining me. But yeah, it's so like, so for me, it was a very many thing to do, you know, just want to look at the latest cameras, latest lenses. I just wanted to upgrade, right? But when I turned professionals, and then things changed. I mean, absolutely changed, yeah. For the first time ever, you know, I'm not working a 9 to 5, so I don't have a normal like kind of office income. You know, I was working on my own. I'm starting my business, and so I had a certain amount of money to spend, and that's when things changed completely. So I looked at things differently. I was obviously, when I first started my business, I would be looking at, oh, maybe I should get a professional camera that would last me for years, and that what came to me. And also I think about as an investment, yeah, not about buying and selling, yeah, but more about how much money I can make from the camera, from the price I pay for them, yeah. And I had to work out a balance there. It's no point getting let's say a £30,000 worth of professional kit, yeah. I mean, like all the lenses, everything, yeah. But I'm only making like, let's say £5,000. It doesn't quite make sense. It would take me a lot of years to recuperate that expense. And also, yeah, don't forget, yeah, digital cameras do depreciate no matter how you look at it. So it's a lot of calculations in my head, you know, how I should be upgrading or thinking about buying my cameras. So that is starting to change the whole philosophy of upgrading for me, especially because before, like I mentioned before, I will be looking at new cameras every half a year. Whenever, let's say, Olympus, Leica, Canon, Nikon, whatever, whenever they release a new camera, I'll be like, oh, cool, man, that camera looks really awesome. I wouldn't mind switching, I wouldn't mind trying them out, but like, when it comes to business, this is a whole different ball game. And then so I was looking at and whichever system that was most beneficial for my type of work. But obviously, go back to my early days. You know, I was a Canon guy. I was a full-time Canon guy only because I started with Canon, and I accumulated over time and accumulated a lot of lenses. So when I turned professional, it's quite an obvious choice to buy Canon bodies, and that's because I could just use all those lenses, right? So I just kind of kept on doing it, but I don't upgrade every year. I don't upgrade every 2 years. I mean, I upgrade when I think the cameras are reaching the end of life, you know, and I mean, I don't mean that it's actually breaking down, but you kind of know, you know, because from the brochures, you know, or from the information you're given from the manufacturers, they will tell you how many shutter actuation or shutter life you're going to get from the camera. For instance, you know, the Canon 5D was like 150,000, 200,000 actuation. So from the number of photos I've taken every year, I kind of work it out, you know, whether it's reaching kind of that limit. And because like I mentioned, like in my previous streams, that the reliability is very, very important as a professional. You know, you don't want them to break down, you know, in the middle of the shoot. So you always bring 2 cameras anyway. One is a backup, one's your main camera. But even that, you know, you just don't want any disruption. So you get the idea. So like, we upgrade, I mean, as a professional, when we upgrade, we look at things like whether the camera is about to go. Because I don't upgrade for the sake of upgrading. And so like, whether you will need something like the M1X, for instance, you know, this is a big, massive chunk of camera, and this is a very reliable, chunky, professional tool. And I do use this like exclusively to all my client shoots, just because it works. I know it's not really a micro four third camera in a way, you know, just because it's massive, and but it's the reliability thing. So I did upgrade from my aging EM1 Mark II. It's just because that is, to me, it's definitely reaching the end of life, because I've shot like 300,000-400,000 shots on that thing already, including silent shutter, of course. And but yeah, it's getting the end of life now. Although I do have a couple more cameras to play with. So fortunately, I'm an ambassador, so I do have a lot of other cameras to play with. But regardless, this is my workhorse. This is my my camera that I would take out to do all my pay jobs, because it works, and I don't want anything to fail. So this is really, really good. And of course, you know, for filming these days, I use both the EM1X and also this piece here. This is the EM1 Mark III. So I think for a lot of people, you know, if they got the Mark II already, if it's still a very, very new condition, you know, it's very low mileage, for instance, the reason of upgrading to Mark III is not as clear line compared to the Mark I and the Mark II. I think the Mark III is great if you can utilize a lot of the new features. For instance, like the starry sky, if you do a lot of arrows, I mean like sky photography, and maybe eye detection, you know, if you do a lot of portrait works, filming, for instance, and because it does offer you like the high-speed shooting, like slow motions and all the other cool stuff that comes with the Mark III. But if you are more of the mid-tier photographers who are getting into the more enthusiastic levels, and I think the Mark II will serve you perfectly fine. And now at the moment, you can get them side by side with the Mark III, so you can still get the Mark II as a new camera. So and at much saving as well from the Mark III price. So you can actually get the Mark II. You'll be more than happy about it. So you don't necessarily get the Mark III, although I love the Mark III because of the features I will utilize. So that is pretty cool. I can see that I got the screen and got the bottom plate mounted, so I am using it for filming, and so it's a really cool thing here. And what about other cameras, like older cameras, like the Pen F? You know, like I mentioned so many times about the Pen F. I love the Pen F, even though this came out in 2015, so it's a 4 or 5 years old camera now, and but I still think it's a very, very capable camera, and I couldn't praise enough about this little guy here. Even though like the AF may not be as fast as all the latest crop of Olympus cameras now, but it's still a very good and capable street camera, and it's just lovely. And I do love the form factor. I do love the offset viewfinder. I mean, more like a rangefinder style camera. It's just awesome. And then talk about another camera here. You know, like talk about gear. So this is my my vlogging camera. This is the EM5 Mark III. Right, okay. I know I have all those gears I can play with at the moment, but whenever I go out with a family, for instance, and if I want to just document something, just want to play around with something, and or take general photos, EM5 is the camera. I had the original, I had the Mark 1, then the Mark 2, and the Mark 3. So I love every generations of it, and well, to be frank, because I work with Olympus, so I get to play with all the gears here. But you'll be happy with the Mark 1 and Mark 2, for instance. I wouldn't suggest you to upgrade if you have them already and you still in reasonable condition, unless you want to shoot, let's say, 4K videos, you want to utilize the latest AF, because I do, because I vlog, if I'm vlogging, I would recommend you to get the Mark 3 because the AF is definitely way better than the Mark 2 and the Mark 1, because all the continuous tracking now and the face detection is fantastic on this camera. And look at the size of the body. And this is one thing I love about the EM5 series is because it's tiny. You know, if you take out the bottom support here, it's just fantastically small. You know, it's slim as it is. You know, if I take out the lens, you can just see how small and how tiny that is. And then the lens, of course, is the 12mm prime as well, which are one of my favorite lenses. And so it is fantastic. It is fabulous. I love it. So it's a great hybrid camera for a lot of people. I used to take the Mark II EM5 anywhere I go traveling. You know, and I took it to all around UK and internationally. I took it to Hong Kong. I took it to Asia, America. You know, it's the camera that I go travel with. The Pen F, you might wonder, why don't I take the Pen F instead of the EM5? I don't know. And I love to shoot street photography, these things, and just because how I used to train as a street photographer. So I like to have my offset so I can use my left eye to see general stuff, and I can use my right eye in the viewfinder so I can see what's coming into the frame. And it's how I train with my when I use my Leica film cameras. So it's just my preference, So there's nothing wrong with you using the EM5 to do the same thing. If you're used to an SLR style camera, so the EM5 is definitely cool. But of course, like I mentioned, if you vlog, videos, stuff, the latest Mark III will be my choice of weapon, So that's kind of things that I would like to talk about, of course. And so let's see. I would like to show maybe some photos of you guys. I'm not sure what you guys did for last week because I have been working constantly. So I want to show you some photo that I did, and you might have seen some of these already. And let me just show you this one here. Right, okay. Okay, oh, I actually got a phone call. Right. Okay, right. So this is kind of like one of the photos that I took just before the lockdown, and then I was actually using the Leica. I was testing a lens, and it's a lens that's made for Leica. So it was pretty cool, and it was really empty by then. And even though we haven't announced the lockdown, so it was just a very quiet environment, And then I'm pretty sure if I go out now, if I'm allowed to go out now, I'll probably do a similar thing and just kind of trying to document the emptiness of London. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot to photograph if I want to do that. But obviously I'm completely banned from it, so I won't be able to do anything at all at this moment in time. So what I did was I just do a lot of things at home, just like these. I've been taking photograph of birds and from the back of my garden. And so this is one bird I used of course the EM1 Mark II and Mark III. I mean with this 40-150 plus the MC14 converter, so I can get a little bit closer to the frame and just to see that little robin that comes every single day. So it comes every day. So I'm not. It might have been and gone already, so it's always in the back garden. So you can see it's actually a very, very cool thing to do when you're just sitting at home doing nothing, just looking in the garden, just see these birds coming in and out, and you just have to, all you need to do is hold the camera with a big lens and just wait for it to come and just shoot it. So it's a pretty fun thing to do. So let's see if I can get another shot here. And let's see. I got a lot more in terms of food. I mean, show you some food breaking stuff. And not so sure about you guys. I love bread. I love bread and biscuits and stuff like that. And my wife made this yesterday. It's the famous pineapple bun, 菠蘿包, in Hong Kong. And I love 菠蘿包. I mean, I could eat it non-stop. And I had 3 already. I'm not joking. I had 3. Actually, no, 4. I have 4. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm putting on weight, man. And so let me just show you this photo here. There we go. And that's the results. I have to say, it's not perfect yet. I think we can still improve the recipe a little bit. And I next time I'm going to try with my wife, and because it was my wife who making it, so we will try a bit more, and then hopefully we can perfect it. And at some point, I will start letting you know that whether it's actually good to eat. No, it was good. I mean, it was yummy. I'm telling you, and my kids certainly loved it. Just show you one more here, and you see they were preparing the actual the topping of the 菠蘿包 itself. It was nice. It doesn't look anything, but as soon as you put it in the oven and you start baking it, it was just good. It was especially when it's fresh. Like when you taste any buns or bread, when it's fresh out of the oven, when it's nice and hot and moist inside, I love that feeling. It's just really good. Okay, the topping may not be as crispy when you compare to when the buns actually cool down completely. So like by that time, the topping will be really nice and crispy. But it's totally different tasting when it's really nice and hot. And it was yum. And it was really good. Then of course we made a lot of stuff last week, and then so like baguette, and I just took the, like when you're home, what else are you gonna do? You got to take photo of all the food you make, right? And so I'm just take photo of the baguette, and we made another bread as well. Let me just show you another bread, and so we make this big load of bread, and let me just close that one, and so we make this. There you go. And that is nice. That is really nice and crispy, and of course it's fantastic in the morning. We cook everything. We're trying to prepare the dough, and then we just bake it in the morning. So so we have nice fresh bread to eat. My wife is fantastic. It was really good. So like, I'll just show you this photo here where you can see when it's open, and it's just lovely. There we go. Yeah, you just look at the texture of it. It's just fantastic. I'm telling you, man, I'm putting on weight, and during this lockdown, even though I try to keep myself active, like have exercises every day, and but when you see the bread, oh man, you really can't help but eat. And then of course we make more stuff. We have more bread and more food. We made some Vietnamese food couple of days ago, and that was yum as well. And my wife made this, and it's really good. The center dish there with the meat on the top is a what they call, I can't remember the name of it, but they have layers in the side. They have not my mum, Sue made. I think this is about 7-8 layers underneath. It's really cool as well. As I love it. I ate a lot as well. Not good for me. You can see like my belly is gonna stick up very soon, and I need to find ways to lose some weight. That's for sure. Then of course I washed my car yesterday, and the car is nice and shiny now. So like just give you some personal life stuff. This is my car, and so I just took it near my house, and in front of the house. So there you go. That's my car. They've been washed and nice, and my daughter really helped. I got a video of it, but yes, I don't think I will show it here. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun last week. Even though I worked really hard, I wasn't joking. Like I mentioned, I was actually working Thursday, Friday until 3, 4, 5 a.m. and then it was tiring. So like weekend, I didn't do much apart from eating, sleeping, and catching up, playing with the kids a little bit. But yeah, I didn't do too much afterward. But anyway, so I guess this is kind of my updates, and more or less. But in terms of photography, I'm going to talk a little bit more specific stuff on Wednesday on the YouTube live. So I will slowly get back to normal like daily live stream on here. So we'll see what happens here. And if you guys want to let me know what sort of thing you would like to talk about, then I will continue, of course, this live stream series. If not, I might shrink it down a little bit to maybe once or twice a week. So it just depends, you know, and I'm very happy either way. But my Wednesday live stream will definitely be an official thing on YouTube. I'm starting to make more videos for the channel as well, because it has been quiet for a while now. I think I'm slowly getting back to my normal creativity in a way. So like, let's see what happens. But anyway, so I will probably end my stream very soon, because looks like everyone forgot that I'm doing daily stream. So I would slowly ease myself back into it. But before I end, of course, I will show you one more photo, because I missed this. Right, this is, of course, a photo of me in Hong Kong, and yeah, well, this is it. This is a place that I miss and hold it dearly. I grew up there and in Hong Kong, and I miss every time I go back. It's so weird that when you look at this photo, because you know, I was filming in Hong Kong in January, and that was before the pandemic. You know, I already heard something in China, you know, when I was in Hong Kong about news about China, but obviously that, you know, it wasn't reaching to a level that, you know, the whole entire world got it. But it was weird. It was so weird, because Hong Kong had been through so much in the last I would say, year now. You know, they had of course the protests and stuff like that, and it really kind of hurt me a little bit in a way. And it's something that I really would just genuinely hope, you know, Hong Kong will be better, you know, very, very soon, and get back to normal, and people will be happy again, and just do whatever they love to do, as how I remember before I left Hong Kong. Yeah, you know, it's, as much as I would like to go back to Hong Kong, but obviously my kids are here now. And good morning, Mo, and looking good. Yes, I'm looking refreshed, don't I? Yeah, I'm looking pretty good. So I'm just talking about Hong Kong at the moment. So I do miss this place a lot, and every time I go back, it just feels home to me. Even though I call it, you know, it's kind of weird. I mean, you have two homes, right? And then London is my home now. My kids are here. They're going to school. My work is here. My contacts are all here now, and the only contacts I have in Hong Kong is my family, you know, my dad and aunt and cousins, whatever. And I have some old school friends, and they are my contacts there. But I don't have any like major working relationship in Hong Kong. I mean, I know companies in Hong Kong. I mean, I know quite a few of them actually. But you know what I mean. It's slightly different when you spend literally half of your life, over half now for me, in a separate country, you know, compared to Hong Kong. And yeah, but still, you know, like when you go back, you just kind of miss the food there, miss the vibe there, miss just hearing people talking your mother tongue, you know, like Cantonese. It just feels different, you know. And but yeah, like I said, you know, this photo was taken when I was in Hong Kong just before the pandemic lockdown and everything like that. And it's still surreal. It's unreal. Like I left Hong Kong on the 20th. And then the 21st is when they started to impose the lockdown, so I got back to London just in time before they're starting to consider doing all kinds of screening and self-isolation and whatever, you know. But yeah, it's just weird. I still in a shock at the moment, you know, that about all this stuff. Even though like this is our 5th week in lockdown now in London. Yeah. Weird, isn't it? We haven't been out for 5 weeks now, and it's awful. It's awful. You know, I feel awful sometimes. You know, just when you wake up, it's like, oh, it's another day. Oh, Burana, how are you? Yes, you guys are a little bit late. I was about to shut down my live stream, and yeah. Anyway, so I was talking a little bit about upgrading, and I think you guys probably missed a whole lot of the conversation I had about upgrading. But yeah, if you so let's summarize a little bit, and so we can move things forward for this entire week and future live stream. So what I'm trying to do is to have a structure for every week now, and from now on I want to have a specific topic to talk about every single weekday. So let's say Monday I want to talk about philosophy of photography, talk about compositions and lighting, just general stuff, not so much gear related. Then I can have Tuesday as let's say camera gear stuff, like more specific about Olympus. If you want to learn about what sort of setting you want to learn and how to best approach a scenario using your Olympus camera, I'm able to answer it, and I will do that. And on Wednesday, I'll be maybe doing some, I don't know, live demo or photo discussion, looking at my photo or looking at your photo if you wish, because I think that's the best way or easiest way to learn about photography, is to get your photos being viewed by a professional, and then you can get some constructive feedback so you can improve your game further. I think that's a very good thing to do, and especially I'm doing it for free. Right, sometimes you can't access this sort of feedback from anywhere. So it's quite important if you do and genuinely interested in photography, and you should get your work being viewed by someone. So there you go. So then Thursday, Friday, I don't know. At the moment, I'm still planning what sort of thing I'll be doing, but you get the idea. So if you want to learn about photography, you want to talk about something, and filmmaking, for instance, as well, I'm very happy to discuss and everything like that. Just drop some comment down in the description, and I will be able to discuss things, right? And hopefully we're gonna have a very cool and long living live stream stuff. But mind you, though, of course, this live stream will last as long as the lockdown, and as soon as I can get out and start earning some money, so this live stream would starting to tail off a little bit, but I will try to maintain a certain level of live streaming depending on work and stuff. So yeah, so stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted, of course. And also my YouTube will definitely be there. My YouTube will be continuing, because that's part of me now, and I'm going to be on YouTube consistently. So Wednesday is my live stream session, and Sunday episode, I think it will return at some point as soon as I can start filming stuff consistently. At the moment, I still find it a little bit challenging, especially with family at home, and it's not easy just to look after them and film at the same time. Is impossible. Right, okay, Burana just says something, just checking in. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem, Burana. Yeah, that's okay. I know everyone's got things to do, and I'm not forcing you guys to watch me, right? I'm just here if you want me to, and of course you can listen to me and leave some comment, and I will be here every day until the lockdown's finished, at least. So anyway, so I am going to end my live stream today, and even though I haven't really talked much, so leave some comment. Remember to let me know what you want to see and discuss, in the future series, and then we can, of course, talk about it accordingly. Anyway, so I shall see you guys all tomorrow, and I'll be back here at 11 to 11:30 a.m. and to discuss about the world of photography and Olympus, of course. So until next time, I shall see you all soon. Bye for now.